Good evening. Yeah, enjoying yourself? Yeah. I'm going to spoil that for you. Okay, I think we're going to start with a little bit of celebrity news, I think. So, yeah, last month, tragically, the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, died. And for me, when I heard that news, it was like the day that Diana died. Didn't care about that either. So, the new series of MasterChefs just started, and so we all know that the BBC, they've sacked John Gerard and Greg Wallace. So the BBC have announced today that they've got new presenters, and to remain consistent, they've employed Prince Andrew and Russell Brand. Right, those are just little appetisers, okay, just to see. Yeah, I think we go a little bit darker. Okay, so anyone got pets? You got pets at all? Yeah, what you got? Dachshunds. Okay, so yeah, my ex had a puppy, beautiful little Labrador puppy. Okay, used to go everywhere with us. Now one night we all went to the pub and she bit someone. So that was it. Had no other choice but to have her put down. And obviously that was upsetting. So now once a year, to celebrate her memory, I go back to the pub with a puppy. So did you know there's approximately 3 million animals are killed every year by litter alone. Now that's an astonishing fact. So to do my bit for the environment, I've stopped using those plastic beer rings. So now I just use my bare hands to I think we're doing one more animal there. Okay, so yeah, I do like animals, especially big game. So I sponsor a baby elephant out in Africa. So for £50 a month, I pay for its food, it pays for its vets, and it pays for all of its general care. And I don't think £50 is a lot of money nowadays. In fact, it's nothing. Nothing in comparison to how I'm going to feel when I get to see that that elephant is fully grown. And we can sell his tusks. So I like doing this, it's good fun. I get to travel around, I get to tell jokes, get to meet loads of nice people, and I get to see loads of other great acts. Now whenever I went up north, I used to see this magician called Kenny. Now he was amazing. He did all sorts of insane stuff. So he did that thing where he got his assistant, and he put her in a box, and he covered the box with a cloak, and he'd cut the box in half, and he'd cut the box in quarters, and then he hid the body in a forest. So I had my birthday last month, and it reminded me that when I was a teenager, every year my grandma used to buy me a pair of happy socks for my birthday. Now it wasn't the bright colourful designs that made me happy, it was the fact that they always reminded me of my grandma, whenever I wanked into them. Jesus Christ! He does nothing for me. So to celebrate my birthday, I took my wife and my mother-in-law, we went to a comedy gig, having a great time, and about halfway through the second act, my mother-in-law started choking on the burger she was eating because she was laughing at the comedian so much. Now she only survived because the person next to her gave the Heimlich manoeuvre. As you can imagine, all quite scary. So the following morning I went on YouTube and I found a video of the comedian that was making her laugh so much, and I emailed it to her so she could watch it at home by herself. So I've had a bit of a tough time recently. My dad died a couple of months ago. Now a couple of weeks back we had the funeral. Obviously a really sad day, but it was a really fitting tribute to the man that I was proud to call my father. At the end of the service, I walked up to the coffin to pay my last respects, and then I slowly picked up the flowers on top of the coffin, and I slowly threw them over my head into the congregation, just to see who was next. So my niece is about 5 years old, and so far this year, she's already been to hospital 16 times because she's had Lego stuck up her nose, stuck in her ear, she swallowed it. It's like I can't buy her enough Lego. Yeah, so, bit of a sad story, but when I was younger, my mum disappeared. Disappeared without a trace. No final goodbye, no goodbye note, nothing. So as I was growing up, when I was upset, whenever I was, needed a bit of comfort, my friends would always say to me, Kevin, you've got your mum's eyes and your mum's heart. And they were right. I kept them in a jar, right up to the point that I was caught by the police. Obviously that's not true. Never cool. So my little boy keeps asking awkward questions about the human body. To be fair, I should have hidden it better. So a couple of years back, I went for local politics, but I got disqualified because basically a smear campaign against the other candidate. And she was blind, and my tagline was "Vote for me, I have a vision for the future." So the other night, I was having a bit of a heart-to-heart with my wife after my dad's funeral, and my wife said to me, "Basically, Kevin, if anything ever happens to me, I want you to be happy, and I think you should start dating other women." Apparently, her getting stuck in traffic wasn't a good enough reason. So the other evening, my granddad, he walked in on me masturbating. So then I had to have this awkward conversation with him. I had to say to him, "Granddad, you can't just walk in my room while you're masturbating." Turned out he was looking for the naked picture I had of Grandma. So my grandma, really, really lovely lady. And from the moment that her and my granddad met, they were in love. They were absolutely beautiful as a couple. And you couldn't ask for a more romantic sentiment. She wore a locket right here with a picture of my granddad in it, wore it every single day of her life. Now one night she was driving home, there was a terrible storm, and a tree fell straight down in front of the car, and the branch went straight through her windscreen and hit her right here. Now it was a good job she was wearing that locket, because it gave her something to look at when she died. Should we lighten it up a bit? So my auntie, when she was growing up, when she was at school, she suffered from something called hypogenic jerk. Okay. Anyone know what it is? Okay, that's the feeling of falling whenever you go to sleep. Okay, she just had that. So when her teachers told her to follow her dreams, she jumped off of a bridge. Bit too much? Okay. Some comedians are worried about bombing men on stage. Not me. Not bothered at all. I bombed that many civilian venues. I'm now sponsored by the US Air Force.
Too soon!
It's friendly fire. It's fine. It's fine. So I've got a younger sister, and she's currently travelling around South America with her girlfriend. Having a fabulous time, by all accounts. Haven't heard from her in a while. Tried to give her a ring a couple of weeks back. Couldn't really hear her. All I really got was she was a bit tied up. Anyway, for me. Yeah. Phoned up yesterday and told her I'm not paying a ransom. So I don't know if anyone else has had this, but when I first started dating my wife, basically her dad pulled me to one side and he was like, "Nobody hurts my daughter." So it's a bit of an uncomfortable sort of conversation for both of us, especially as I had to point out she liked to be tied up and spanked. So it was, well, got home late yesterday and my wife had been drinking all afternoon with friends. They left, gone upstairs to bed, and as we were walking upstairs she said to me, Kev, I really enjoy it when we use toys during sex. But then she got really pissed off when I shot her in the arse with a Nerf gun. And my little boy got really upset and told him he couldn't have his finger puppets back. So before I came here tonight, I was reading the local paper, and first week back at school, and there was a story about the school that I was at, and it was a bit of a tragedy really. The teacher had taken school minibus full of kids, and he'd killed them all because he was drink driving. And it made me think that could have been me if I'd have stayed in teaching. Right, I'm going to leave you with one last thing, and that's I had to go to the dentist on Friday, and again it reminded me that when I was a child that I was afraid of the dentist, and that's because he was a paedophile. So whenever he told me to open wide,